1. Positive autocracy must replace democratic leadership. But the key word, of course, is positive. 2. Talent and innovation are abundant, not scarce. And 3. Early identification of high potentials is counterproductive. 4. If you want to maximize your people's productivity, minimize your control. 5. Leadership energy trumps competencies and best practice case studies. And 6. Emotional integrity is the key, not emotional intelligence. Thanks to the two biggest mega trends of our times, Uber connectivity and Uber population, exciting growth opportunities coexist with daunting threats to humanity. And the challenge of 21st century leadership is to drive profitable growth by taking those very threats head on. Question is, are our leaders and their organizations ready? I've spent the last 30 years studying companies and organizations from inside and out. I've conducted research across 28 countries and written extensively about leadership in this new era. And through it all, I've uncovered some essential truths.
What if we gave people the freedom to choose how much or how little they want to work?
Because in the old days, it was, I'm just running a company. I'm just running a company.
Yeah, I come here, I show up, I do what I have to do.
Shareholders.
Those days are over. Just working for shareholders, those days are over. Today, leadership is about creating a better future, not just maximizing shareholder wealth.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the key to earning the right to use top-down leadership. Be autocratic about your values and your purpose, but to be humble, to be respectful, and to be compassionate with people. It is totally possible to do both at the same time.
The biggest difference is the total transparency and the nakedness of leaders. And it's a good thing because there's a built-in mechanism for check and balance in there. Because I'm totally on display, because I'm naked, I better be watchful and I can't fake it because everybody today has a supercomputer in their pocket.
And that force is not a skill, it's not a competency, that force is deep within us.
It's your intrinsic energy. Leadership is the art of harnessing human energy towards the creation of a better future.
Welcome back to the Inspiring Big Leaders talk show. And it has been a very insightful session so far. Have you enjoyed yourself, Tuan Ismail?
Tremendously.
Yes. But we have been the only ones asking questions, and I think we should take some questions from the floor to be fair to the audience.
Indeed.
Right, and we've got the first person to ask a question. He'll be appearing on the screen with us, Tuan Riziandi Nawawi, who is the head of Employee Assistance Division for the State Human Resource Unit of Sarawak. Tuan Riziandi, are we ready?
Hi. Assalamualaikum. Good morning, Dato'.
Waalaikumsalam.
Tuan Ismail and host Mona. All right. Good morning, Raji. Riziandi here, head of the Employee Assistance Division, State Human Resource Unit. Okay. I believe in an integrated approach to leadership development so that our leaders are equipped with broad range of the required critical competencies. Okay. I think coaching should not be served in separate from others' leadership interventions, such as mentoring. From your many years of experience in Incliff and in many Fortune 500 corporation, how do you see coaching and mentoring both playing effective role in developing and transforming leaders, particularly in the Sarawak Civil Service? Thank you.
I couldn't agree with you more that we should not be seeing as one thing. Leadership development is not about saying these are 6 competencies and let's train you on those 6 competencies, right? First of all, leadership is very different for different people. It depends on the kind of collective better future you want to create. And secondly, any help that we can get to that independent stage where we are not only clear about our values and purpose, but we have also clear about the mastery when it comes to gratitude, acceptance, and forgiveness, both coaching and mentoring can help us. Coaches act as neutral parties who ask you questions to help you clarify your own thinking and get you to that emotional integrity place. Mentors help you with their own experience. They have domain knowledge of your experience. So if you're a civil servant, a senior civil servant can be your mentor because they understand the domain. Whereas a coach helps you understand yourself, your inner self, and gets you to a place of emotional integrity. So coaching, mentoring, anything that can help you to get to that place. It's a combination always.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Rajiv. We've got the next person to ask a question. Dr. Intan Rahmatazuddin, Principal Assistant Secretary from the Ministry of Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Sarawak. Dr. Intan, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mona, and good morning to
Morning.
Dato', Tuan Haji Ismail, and Rajiv.
Morning.
Hello to you in Singapore. Okay, a question for Rajiv. Okay, I know of a few new officers in the State Civil Service who have enrolled in the onboarding coaching programs. Okay, I really like seeing their growth after they have completed the whole onboarding training and coaching program. Yeah? This is such a wonderful example of how coaching helps young executives in their career. That is the age where the hunger for new skills and exposure is high for them. So it's very enlightening. But how about the senior executives, Rajiv? And specifically, how do you see coaching could be effectively served to maybe like all these like myself to the senior executives in the civil service, especially when they are already seasoned. Thank you, Rajiv.
So coaching, in my view, is something like, you have a problem and a coach helps you through that problem. Self-coaching is, so coaching, when somebody else is coaching you, is like giving you a fish every day. Self-coaching is learning how to fish. So whether you are early in your life or whether you are later in your career and your life at a more mature level, at a later stage in life, I believe in, especially as you go more senior, in that idea of self-coaching. And what has helped me and a whole lot of other senior leaders that I have observed and worked with, whether in government or in the private sector, is this ability to take silent pauses. So the habit of finding solitude, whether with your eyes closed or other meditative technique, to reflect on life and what is happening, and seeing yourself as a participant in the larger stage of life and asking questions: where am I? Where am I going? Where do I want to go from here? That silent pause, even 10 minutes of quiet meditation with your eyes closed every day helps a lot. And even if you do nothing but just observe your thoughts or focus on your breath, you will find that 7 out of 10 times, roughly, if you do a 10-minute silent meditation session with your eyes closed, the problem that you're grappling with, the solution will pop in your head. The issue is not that the solutions are the problems are unsolvable. The issue is we don't create space in our brain, in our mind, process peacefully. And that is what self-coaching. You've already got your values, you've already got your purpose, understood or have begun to understand the ideas of gratitude, acceptance, forgiveness. Now add this idea of silent pauses. And once a day, 10 minutes. And you will find that a lot of things that you thought you needed help for, solutions already pop up.
Thank you, Rajiv. We're going to go for a third question right now. This is from Datuk Kiruddin Husaini, YS State Director, Fire and Rescue Department of Malaysia Headquarters in Sarawak. Go ahead, Datuk Kiruddin.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Morning. Thank you, Mona. Good morning, Dr. Sabaria Putit, Tuan Ismail Said, and Brother Rajiv. Thank you for sharing and the invitation to participate in this talk show today. I'm Harudin Rahman, alias Husaini, and greeting from Fire Rescue Sarawak. Then allow me to share my concern and wonder around our topic of discussion. We're glad that Fire Rescue has been classified as emergency response services, which could be the true Tuesday. And looking at our response services, we will take Fire Rescue Department service relevant if we are not coming together with what the new world want. For example, if we look at today, if we are service merely response services, we would take our department become irrelevant. And the world now is very challenging. And a part of human-made incident, emergency situation, we also are facing what I call unpredictable climate changes, and it contribute a lot of incidents happen through the world, including Sarawak. Just to share what called shared success, we collaborate for the greater goal of the fire service to Sarawak communities. And with this view, we try to build resilient communities toward disaster resistant, and it's a need a proactive leadership and think beyond normalcy. Because in war, speed is the essence of any victory. The same thing goes to the fire service. And looking at the topic that we're talking today, how coaching be able to transform emergency services from merely responding to one of proactive and lead in terms of new challenging in the world of emergencies. How you can relate with leadership, being putting not only the fire service but the people itself, because in our concern we want to see you before the fire, not after. So how Rajiv can share with this one. Thank you.
So you remind me of another civil servant that I know very well, and this is in India. She was the first person to join the Indian police force. And when you're in the police force, like in the fire department, you are generally there. The conception seems to be that the police force or fire department is there to respond to crises. In the case of the police, when she was head of prisons, it is about meting out the punishment to the criminal. But she was not satisfied with that as the role. The role is not just about responding. Using coaching, leadership energy as the coaching framework, she always asked herself, okay, what can my department do to make the world a better place for the largest section of society? I don't want to just mete out punishment, I want to reform. And even if somebody comes into the prison, I want them to go out, not just to do crime again so that they can come back into the prison because they're all in prison, but to be able to start a new life. So how can we transform criminal systems from being just punishing to reforming and adding to life? In other words, how do you use self-coaching to transform the fire department? Ask yourself that there is a certain part of the job which is to respond to a fire. And you've got to do that better than anybody else because every life matters, right? But what about when the engines are not on the road? How do we look at and imagine a better future that the fire department can do beyond just responding to fires? This is what self-coaching with leadership energy is all about, to ask yourself the questions. Based on my values, what should be the purpose that we should develop for the entire organization? Then how do we align the organization to more than just responding to one fire after the other? That is what transformative leadership is all about.
Thank you, Rajiv. I'm just getting signal that we don't have time, but there's this one really good question. And Rajiv, if you could just answer this in like 1 or 2 minutes would be great. I don't want to miss this. This is from Atrisha from State Human Resource Unit. And she says, I realize that most discussion about leadership revolves around the leaders. But are there any studies regarding followership or the followers or your subordinates? For example, the emotional integrity of followers in particular. So what do you think about that, Rajiv?
So again, as I said in the beginning, we think about leadership in terms of followers. That leadership is a position, it's a title, it's about telling people, directing people, coaching people, commanding people. And I actually believe that it's got nothing to do with followers. Leadership has got everything to do with what you want to do with your life and deciding that what is the example that you want to set. And if people believe in your values and your purpose, they will join your journey. So you literally crowdsource your followers rather than converting your followers into doing what you say. You crowdsource it, you put your values and your purpose out there and see who joins the journey, and then harness their energy towards this collective better future that you want to create. That is what I believe in as far as the relationship between leadership and followership is. Followers are not about, I'm commander and you report to me, so you're my follower. No. You're a follower if you believe in my values and my purpose and want to join the journey towards creating a collective better future.
Right. Thank you, Rajiv. And I think that's also a book that you wrote, Outsource Leadership. And I think if anyone's interested, you can...
Open source
Open
leadership.
source.
Open source leadership, yeah. So I think that's related to that, I believe. Great questions from our audience, and of course, great to have all the speakers that we have. But that's all the time that we have for today. And this is the episode of Inspiring Big Leaders. And today we're talking about leadership energy. A big thank you to our guest speaker today, Dr. Rajiv and Dr. Sabaria, for sharing their insights with us. And of course, to my amazing co-host, Tuan Ismail, for making my job a lot easier today. But guys, this is not goodbye, because we are going to see you again in our next episode with Dr. Marsha Reynolds, who will coach you on how to accelerate your success based on her success with businesses in over 40 countries around the world. So stay tuned for that one, and we're going to have a really amazing session again. We're going to take your questions again with Dr. Marsha Reynolds. Until then, have a great day ahead, and see you next time.